All right, so welcome back. Now let's do a bit of shopping when it comes to our backdrop. Now before that, I've not shown you one type of backdrop, which I did talk about earlier on in this course, which is the collapsible green screen. Okay, there are a lot of different names for it. I've just written it here on Amazon, and you can see, kind of get an idea of what we are looking at. Sometimes they're just fixed to the chair. They're usually smaller than the muslin backdrop that I had just shown you. Okay, they're almost half the size of that. So the most popular types, are like by these companies, by Neewer and all, but they look like this basically. Okay, they have this rectangular shape, and if I just click on that, you can actually see that they can fold, and usually they're double-sided. So, remember we talked about this, the Green Goblin example. If in any case you need a green costume and green is unavoidable, you also have the blue in this case on the other side. Okay, and they can just fit into a small bag like you can see here. And these are usually, because they're much smaller in size, you can see like just 5 foot by 6. So they'll look something like this, like you can see in this picture here. Okay, and I often find that these are used extensively by people who usually will be sitting, and they really won't be moving too much. Like it's just going to be a short area that they'll be covering, like you can see, like YouTube artists and all. If you're ever doing some sort of a screen recording where you're using a webcam overlay, then a lot of people like to use. But basically, because the area is much smaller, it kind of just restricts your expressive capabilities when it comes to the movement of your hands, because you don't have enough of that area. But if you're just going to be sitting somewhere or just going to be standing somewhere absolutely still, these do the job, because they can fold and you can literally take them anywhere, making your video production very, very location independent. And as you can guess, if you notice this material, okay, this is devoid of any wrinkles. So this is like a smooth material that you get. So this is great, but it really depends on your particular situation. That's why I did not mention this as my recommended backdrop, because this is slightly subjective, and some people may like it, some people may not like it. Also, it's just a bit more expensive than the, in fact, considerably expensive than the muslin backdrop. For example, if you do our shopping to get the muslin backdrop, you can just write on Amazon, you can just type green screen backdrop here. Usually the first ones that you're going to get here are your cloths here. Okay, so these usually will be the muslin cloths. You can see they usually will be like 8 feet or 10 feet long and 12 feet wide and all these things. The size will be, 8 feet is the width here and 12 is the height. And usually they're going to be even enough probably to sometimes even fit in 2 people, but you even get smaller ones in this, you even get bigger ones in this. You can just filter that out when you're searching it on Amazon. And the best part is, usually I've seen that they, here you can see that it's only the cloth, but a lot of times they will actually come with the backdrops. These days, even these type of backdrops have become popular, where it's just one stand, and then you have a horizontal bar, or the kind of one that I had shown you. If you want to buy them separately, you can just type in studio photography background or background stand, and you'll be able to easily find them. They're very, very cheap. These together is hardly going to cost you anything. Even this, what you're seeing here, this is in rupees actually, but if you convert this into dollars, we're just literally talking something like $30 or something, and this is also on the expensive side. Usually you can even find them less than $20. Point is, they're going to be very, very cheap, especially as compared to the collapsible backdrops. Now, one thing about the collapsible backdrops is, or the foldable backdrops, is that on Amazon.com, which is like the default US Amazon, you obviously are able to find a lot of variety. But sometimes, for example, on the Indian Amazon and some local Amazon for specific countries, I've just seen that it's not very easy to find these collapsible ones. So in this case, for example, if you're in India, like a lot of my students are, you can go to studiobackdrops.com. I've given the link. I've given you an equipment where I've mentioned all this that I'm going to show you in the course. Okay, so I've even given you the links. You can find that like a local dealer in your country. In some cases, if you're not able to find it on Amazon. But the point is, you should know what you're searching for. Ultimately, you will be able to find an online retailer for the thing that you want here. And you can see here that this is, even in rupees, this is slightly more expensive than the muslin cloth, probably almost 6 to 7 times more expensive, right? No, this is not rocket science. If you ask me very honestly, your first green screen backdrop should be a muslin cloth if you're not very sure about anything. Okay, just get the stands, get this, or hang it on your wall, and you should be good to go. In the next part, we're going to discuss about other equipment, and the most important part there is going to be the lights. So I'm going to see you there.